Out of all the hundreds of world-famous podcasts, this is one of them. It's the Dave and Doc Podcast.
Masks optional.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Happy day.
How about that?
What's up, man?
How's it going?
Show number 19.
It is. It's show number 19.
I should have said rainy day, maybe.
No kidding.
You know,
I got to
Mini
cook
moons.
tomorrow. I really hope it doesn't rain.
cooking on the black stone.
Cooking on the black
Making
stone.
that hibachi.
I'm doing hibachi. You guys are welcome to come over.
We might do it. I think we're having an evening thing.
Yeah.
With Laura's parents. So that'll be. I don't know.
Hell, bring them. I mean, listen, I've got enough rice to feed the Salvation Army.
Right.
I don't know how many people are in the Salvation Army, but
You got them covered.
I've got them covered.
It is a good sized black stone. So I mean, it is very capable of all things.
So
Cooking.
because you've been here before when we've cooked on the Blackstone.
I have.
So we had to buy a bigger bowl for the rice. That's how much rice we have.
Oh my God.
I prepped it this morning. So yeah, there's a lot of rice for sure.
Filler upper.
That's right. Yeah.
We like rice. It's delicious.
I just hope it doesn't make everybody sleepy and they want to stay in my house all day.
Oh no,
I got things to do, like sit in my recliner and
you can
watch
kick
TV.
them out, man. You can kick them out. It's okay.
Yeah,
we're gonna be okay.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely.
It's not football season, so I think most people think they can just hang out all day.
Oh no.
When it's football season, they're like, "Oh, I guess Dave will be watching football." Like that's a stupid question. Of course, I'm going to be watching football.
That's where you say, "All right, Lindsay, let's go ahead and go to bed." So they'll leave. They can leave now.
Some of our best friends
Drop
that come
those
over.
subtle hints.
It's funny if they're listening to this, they're probably laughing because like it got to a point where like Lindsay tried to stay up with all of us, and she just couldn't do it. And like and we were joking. It's like at New Year's, like it's like, oh, it's New Year's. Oh, Happy New Year's. All right, I'm going to bed. And then like we'd stay up to like 4 or whatever because I actually function better at night. Yeah.
You're the night owl.
Well, I mean, years of prostitution has
You're-
brought me to that level. I think I'm just nocturnal. I think that's what it is.
Dave Man, Nighthawk,
That's right.
running the Nighthawk. That's it.
Hey, it is show number 19,
It
folks.
is. And happy Mother's Day weekend.
Happy Mother's Day weekend,
Hey,
everybody.
all mothers now. All the mothers now. Happy Mother's Day. Oh, you see this?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna give another shout out to my main boy on the T-ball team.
Yeah.
This is the pop and lock. And
Pop and lock?
And he does it 3 times because he likes it.
Oh,
That's it.
I like it.
That's it. Me too.
I like it.
Pretty
That's
awesome.
cool. That's
Pretty
cool.
awesome. Yes. Anyway, show number 19.
It's kind of like when I used to do disclaimers when I was doing radio, and it always sounded like plus tax.
Right.
That's right.
Your hair may fall out. You may grow a third horn.
If you didn't have a horn, you would grow another one.
Some assembly required.
Just like if you buy a table from a wholesale furniture store company here in the Knoxville.
Did you like how I fixed the chair?
I appreciate it. I love that everybody.
Little flick of the wrist and the chair's fixed.
I love that everybody has to come over and fix our stuff.
I would like to say that Chelsea has nothing on me now. Though she did paint your door.
She did paint our door.
Yeah, that's true. And it does look good.
It really
So
does. Doesn't it look good? Doesn't that red look good? Lindsay didn't think she would like the red.
It's an
but
accent door.
Yeah.
I got it. I see this.
We had to stand out in front of the neighborhood.
I understand. Man.
I like to show
get
off.
I know this. I get this.
I'm pretty flamboyant, as you can look at me and tell when I'm wearing black and whatever. It is show number 19. It's the Dave and Doc Show. I'm Dave.
And I'm Doc.
And you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Stitcher, our favorite, iHeartRadio, Pandora, TuneIn, Alexa, Podcast Addict, Pocket Cast. And of course, if you would like to view the podcast, you can do so on YouTube. And many of you have. Here's a thing that I'm going to say about YouTube, and I'm going to be as honest as I possibly can about it. All right. There's a few things here. Number one, if you want to look at us, that's great. I love it. Okay. Because I actually put a lot of time into this, and like it takes a lot of time to upload it to YouTube.
Truth.
It doesn't take a lot of time to like do the audio part because it just doesn't.
But,
right.
but the video.
But the video takes some time. That takes some editing. And I'm not asking for sympathy or anything from anybody. They're like, yeah, poor you.
Post some cool comments for Dave. Okay.
Yeah, post some comments, or how about this? How about you just subscribe? because a ton of you are watching it, but you're not subscribing. And let me just be as honest as I possibly can be, okay? Here's as transparent as I can get. At some point in time, YouTube will actually start giving us money because so many people are watching our video. But you know when they won't? Is when you don't subscribe. Okay? Listen, my kids can't go to college. Right, Doc's kids are never going to go to a public school. They're going to have to be. Listen, we're destitute here. Okay,
so there you go, America. It came down to it, and you can say nothing other than 100% transparency.
I hate
and
it.
The budget is still lean.
What's funny?
Lean.
Is I watch all these videos on YouTube, and these people go, "Please like and subscribe," and all this. Just be honest. Listen, you're making your. We're not making our money with this, but it is cool because it actually says, "Hey, you guys are listening or whatever,
right.
or watching." So
we love it. No, thank you.
And of course, and again,
none of your social media has been messed up now from seeing our faces.
Is that right?
So I'm still pretty impressed.
And
with
of
that.
course, the biggest way people watch and or listen to us is the website, which doesn't really do anything for the analytics, but that's okay.
But that's okay.
It's DaveDoc019. It's Dave and Doc.com.
Absolutely.
All rights reserved.
That's it.
Copyright
That's it.
2022.
That's it. You see the Dave and Doc with the red background and the mic. You know it's us.
That's right.
It's
the
nothing else.
stickers are floating around
That's
out
right.
there.
We're trying to get some in circulation.
That's right. In random places. So
right.
yeah.
That's right.
But yeah. So anyway, after all that, that's where you can see us, and
We've got platforms.
we do. We got many platforms. That's 100% true.
That's good.
So
without further ado,
it's
so we're gonna do some mom themed kind of Mother's Day themed ish jokes.
okay.
We're gonna do
All right.
some.
They're still dad jokes, right?
They're still dad jokes. So yes,
Okay.
yes.
You threw some of these at me before we started,
Yeah, we
and some
can't
of them
talk-
I really love.
Yeah, but some of those we can't drop those on air. No. I was like,
I really did like this.
oh. So the first one's going to be, so it's a knock knock joke, okay?
Okay. All right.
So knock knock.
Who's there?
Annie.
Annie who?
Anything you can do, mom can do better.
How about that? Happy Mother's Day. Look at you. Look at
You
you.
didn't like that one.
No, I didn't.
But in honor of Mother's Day.
In honor of Mother's Day, I'm perfectly satisfied with that.
All right, the second one is, what 3 words solves dad's every problem?
I feel like I should just say what. I have some answers to that. But no, what? What is that?
Ask your mother.
I've used that before.
Yes.
That is many, many times I've said, I don't know. Just talk to your mom.
And this is the dad one. So a boy goes to a strip club. His mother says, "Did you see anything that you were not supposed to see?" The boy says back, "Yes, I saw Dad."
Oops.
Hey yo,
Guys, wear a hat and sunglasses.
because
Just throwing that out there.
I wear my sunglasses.
Our friend Corey Hart. Can you imagine, just throwing this out there because I know you pretty well, can you imagine if we actually had time to go to a strip club? I mean, there's not time to go. When would I go? I don't know when that would take place.
It doesn't exist.
It just doesn't.
And Kanye said it best when she leaves she gonna leave with half. So that would be the main reason to not go. That and the love of Jesus.
There's a lot of reasons not to go.
Yeah, and VD is bad.
VD's nothing to clap about.
Yes, right.
Even though most of them advertise a buffet now in the middle of the day.
Which is just, that's so terrible.
Isn't that weird?
It's so bad.
Like, I mean, when did that start? Like, it's like, hey, we're not getting enough people. Let's have a buffet.
Let's have a buffet.
Right.
Right.
I mean, you're at the line
Right.
and you're getting your food.
Right.
Is it like Duff's where it just rotates?
And that's scary. That's scary.
The stage is in the middle.
And now for a break, come to the buffet.
Oh,
We've got crabs and okay. Stop. That's the end of that.
all I can picture is the Golden Corral and the chocolate fountain. That's all I see in my head right now. Oh.
Can't put your hand on my hip because we can't dip, we dip, we dip. No, none of that. There's none of that mess. None of that mess.
Aren't strip clubs illegal in Knoxville? Or do they have to be a private club? Isn't that how that works in Knoxville?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I want to say like a lot of cities did that, like where it had to be a private club.
Oh.
Like it wasn't just, everybody show up, that it had to be a private club.
Oh.
I think I remember
Yet
this,
everybody will show up.
and
right?
everybody will show up, but
How do they-
So like they charge like $10 and you get a membership or something.
Oh.
Or whatever they charge. I don't know.
Oh.
I really don't know what they charge. It doesn't.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun,
I feel like I'm digging myself a grave here.
Yep. Yep. And she's not that far away. So
No, she's not. She's just right that way.
here I am. Rock me like a hurricane.
It started in Virginia, I think. Like when I was living in Virginia Beach.
Quit.
No, there was like lawmakers, and it was a whole thing. Like they're like, yeah, we can't do this, and then they said, well, we can do it, but it has to be a private club. I'm like, isn't that the same thing? If you're charging somebody $1 to get in,
That just seems like they had to.
they had to find a way to make it
That's a workaround.
right.
That's a workaround.
To work around for the working ladies.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody got to get paid.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's odd.
It just seems like a weird job to have too.
That's.
Speaking
of ladies, did you know that the oldest lady in the world died?
who was not a stripper.
Who was not a stripper?
I think she was a nun, as a matter of fact.
See, clean living.
Clean
There
living.
is no exception for some clean living, good living.
I wanted to talk about this last week because you're a doctor, and I wanted to ask
Yes,
you this
yes.
because they said something that was the dumbest thing that I've ever heard.
She died from being old.
Well, so that's funny you say that because they said no cause of death has been released. Damn it, she's 119 years old. Number one,
But she was a good looking 119.
Number one, she wanted to die. Okay, I promise you. Every day she got up and she's like, really?
Today is supposed to be the day. Why is it not the day? That's actually a good point because so in med school, you have the cadavers, which is gross anatomy. So it is people who
It is gross.
have
Waka waka.
gross is in the real life, in the flesh.
I know.
But a lot of people.
I watched that movie too.
But a lot of people would say it was gross.
Yes.
And they actually do. They have the age of your cadaver, and then they usually will put on there like what their cause of death is.
Right.
So like Our Lady, and you name your cadavers. Okay?
Oh, do you?
You do. Like somebody named theirs Uncle Terry.
That's wonderful.
And
This would be my favorite part of med school. I'm just telling you right now.
so and so there's different anyway. But
I'm gonna go work on Clementine.
They actually do. We named ours Elsa. This was
Elsa?
before Frozen was
Oh.
the thing. This was before Frozen.
I'm sure you've let it go since then.
Let it go. Let it go. Right now, I'm like, great. We named our cadaver Elsa.
That's great.
And she was like 84.
Yeah.
And they put down she died of congestive heart failure.
Right.
So I'm sure that the dear sweet 119-year-old number one died of cardiac arrest. Secondary to probably who in the world knows being old.
Being old,
Yeah. I doubt they called the medical examiner for that one.
right?
You know,
I mean, they actually had to say cause of death hasn't been released. She's 119. What's the average lifespan now? 75.
So for guys, I believe it's 76 now, and for women it's 78 because
Yeah.
men traditionally do not live as long.
Well, of course not, because the women kill us. Happy Mother's Day to all of you.
And on
out
that
there.
theme, Happy Mom's Day. Oh,
But so I mean, being a doctor though, what's the oldest patient that you've ever worked with?
oh, that's a great question. So I had a lady. She lived to be 98.
98.
98.
Wow.
And that was here in Halls. Yeah. here
Wow.
in Halls. 98.
98.
I've got a 95-year-old right now. He's
Really?
Yeah. He's still kicking. I think he's my oldest patient now.
Do you?
I've got a 92-year-old lady. She might get it unless something crazy happens. I mean, she looks fantastic. I'm like,
Wow.
I think you look better than me. Yeah. So I mean, she might do it. But yeah, 98.
How? But I mean, here's a question for you. I mean, when I heard that this lady was 119 years old, that sounds absolutely miserable to me. Because I can just tell you right now, at the ripe old age of 45, soon to be 46 in a few months, I mean, things are already hurting.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know, and I mean, like things are squeaking and popping and cracking, and I don't feel bad. Like, I mean, I feel okay.
Sure.
I mean, you know, you see me all the time. So I mean, my health's in pretty good health. I'm generally healthy,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I don't eat real well, but that's just, it is what it is. I take a lot of vitamins.
Neither do I.
Yeah. So I mean,
Well, we try to. I eat well.
well, right? Right.
We will not die of malnutrition.
But I mean, like, I watch my calorie intake.
Right.
I drink a lot of water.
Right.
Right.
We're trying.
You know,
we're trying to do healthy things.
I've held off on the prostitution, but I mean, I think that
Good. VD is bad. The theme for the day. Happy Mother's
nothing to
Day,
clap
and
about.
say no to VD. You try to get decent sleep.
Yeah, I
you
do.
know.
I mean, I try. So
It's
I mean,
hard to do. I mean, you're working and things, but,
yeah,
but
I mean,
trying to get decent sleep
at the
helps.
age of almost 46 now, you know, I'm halfway to 90. I cannot flippin' imagine.
We're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Can you just? I mean, really? I mean, do you want to live that long?
No. And I know that I won't. I can go ahead and call that one. I can call that. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Calling your shot.
That's it. Pretty
Babe
much.
Ruth.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. What I would like to do. Yeah. No. You know, some people, and I don't know how. I mean, apparently she was fairly highly functional.
She was.
And I didn't do a lot of research on her, but I mean,
They said she loved birthday cake or
maybe that was her secret. You know, I think one of the big secrets.
I like to squirt chocolate in my mouth.
People who find happiness.
Yeah.
They're going to live longer. That's just the way it is. And you know, getting a checkup, just of course, none of us are guaranteed anything. But no, I mean, if I live to be 119 with the pains that I have now, I don't think that's going to be good.
But I mean, just think about like
not
all
gonna
the things that aren't going to be working. So here's what I think when I see somebody.
Hey-o.
Really? I mean, like, here's what I think when I see somebody really old. And this is awful, but
I'll chew your food up for you.
I appreciate that.
You know.
But just like going to the restroom. I mean, just like let's say it's
Get back into life with Depend.
I mean, it's just. I mean, you know,
really laugh at that. That kind of hurt my feelings. You didn't laugh at.
Well, it's because I'm thinking about it and I'm like terrified
Because you're like,
happen.
actually, that would be me.
I didn't tell you, Doc. I'm wearing those right now.
Yeah.
What was the Saturday Night Live skit? Oops, I crapped my pants.
That was a pants. Yes.
He's playing tennis and it's.
I remember my grandfather. He died. He was 80. Was he 83?
Good long life.
Yeah. I mean, right.
Yeah.
And died of heart failure. But he had a little bit of urinary incontinence every now and then. Okay. And this is way back. I mean, I'm like super young, but I can remember this. And my grandmother, who was just super, really took great care of him. But also modest, was like, you know, Melvin, well, you know, I have those special pants. And without missing a beat, he goes, well, what are they, rubber? And she goes, Melvin, you know, because of course he would get rowdy.
I like Melvin already.
He was legendary.
Yeah.
He was a legend. Oh man, he was awesome.
I mean, it's just,
but
I mean, going to the restroom.
I mean, crap.
Just putting on clothes in the morning. I mean, like trying to talk to people and stuff, and just be. I have no desire to be that old.
Well, we're going to live in Virginia and go to Captain. What is it?
George's.
Captain George's. And that might be the fountain of youth.
I'm
kind of holding out.
It's one or the other. It's the fountain of youth, or it's going to kill us pretty quick.
Right.
That third lobster tail really did me in.
But the 6 naps we take a day are sure helping us keep going strong.
I mean, I just see people when you're that elderly, and like, and this woman who was 119 wasn't walking anymore. She was in a wheelchair.
Right.
It's like, what kind of life is that? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know, she lived to be 119, but I mean, I bet if you like, you know, ask her, hey, when would you have liked for this to have been over? She would have probably said about 30 years ago.
Because the other thing that gets tough too is you start outliving your friends and even family members. I mean, 100%. I'm sure other family members died before she did. And that gets tough. It's almost, you know, I've always said, you know, if I lose my mind,
Yeah.
You know, if I end up with dementia, like serious, not like I still know something, but if I'm bad, I'm good to please let me go.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to live like, because I don't know I'm here, you know, and I don't know anybody that's here, and there's no quality then.
You want to hear something kind of like in
morbid.
my subconscious that's kind of evil? There's kind of some fun about that where like I can say whatever I wanted to say at that point, and everybody's going to say,
Oh, people do.
Oh, that's just Dave. He's old.
Oh, I had this,
and I could just get away with whatever I want to say.
I had this one lady. She was totally like that, and she would just come in and she'd just have a good old cussing fit every time she came in, and it was the funniest thing, really and truly, because she just rip like 6 or 7 words, and then she'd work it in the conversation, you know. But she loved me. I mean, she'd always want to get her hug. I'm like,
right.
I bet you do. But she lived to be, I guess she was 86. I think she was 86.
Yeah.
So again, and so I mean, you know, for the first little bit, everything was fine, but then over the last couple of years, you know, it just continued to get worse. But yeah, I mean, we're not immortal, so I mean, your body's going to wear out,
right?
And the question is, when the quality's gone,
right?
I mean, why are we? I don't know. Yeah.
And how come all these people live in China? What's going on there? I mean, something's going on that
it might be the rice.
It might be.
I mean,
it might be.
I mean that in the sense of it could be their diet.
It could be
because they do. I think there's a lot of things they do that have probably good anti-inflammatory properties
or cultural.
You know, so I know that sounded pretty bad when I was like, it could be the rice, but I mean, but seriously, it's probably their diet. I mean, for real, you know, I really believe that. I think that's part of it.
Do they put shrimp sauce on the rice like
terrible.
I do? Oh my god, because that's what I do.
And we didn't make it to show 20.
No.
So the FCC won't let me be or let me be me. So let me see. They try to shut me down
but I mean,
on MTV, but it feels so empty without me.
I mean, I wouldn't.
That is Eminem.
That's Eminem.
That's exactly right.
I wouldn't. I mean, I can't eat rice without shrimp sauce.
I can't eat much of anything without shrimp sauce, but if I always put shrimp sauce on, I would die.
Right?
Oh, it's just, I mean, I could take a bath.
Oh gosh.
In the shrimp.
That's like the glaze from Krispy Kreme. Oh my Lord! It's just heavenly.
If they had like a baby, oh man, I'd never leave the house. I'd be like, you know what?
Do you think though that like other because I know other cultures too, like you know in France in particular, like they love their dessert, they love their wine, but everything's in moderation.
Oh yeah, you get a portion over there, and you're like. Somebody left out like 3/4 of my meat,
right? Like in America, we supersize everything.
What is this?
Do you think? I mean, in China, do you think that's part of it too? Like it's a cultural thing that's why they're living that long.
I would say yes.
Yeah,
yeah. I really think I do. Yeah.
They seem to just be way more chill than us Americans.
Truth.
They don't seem to be upset all the time.
They don't get. Yeah. I mean, they're hurrying, but it's. I don't know. It's an interesting thing. I mean, France. Don't they like shut down for the summer? That's why their economy is poor. Don't they have like extended vacation for
I think so.
For like everyone in the summer? I'm like,
right?
I mean,
yeah. I mean,
if everybody took a month off in June, July,
yeah.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
Oh man. Of course, my wife, she'd put me to work.
Oh
no! Actually, she'd be like, "Stand aside."
She'd put you,
son.
She might at this point in her life, where
she can outwork me,
where she's like 95% pregnant.
It doesn't matter.
She might put you in the ground.
Oh no, she's been painting this week, and she's like her mama. Miss Donna outwork everybody. That's just the way it is. I'm just like, my goodness. Yeah, no
we're
way.
completely helpless here. Like Chelsea has to come over and fix everything.
It's all right. It's all right. Hey,
it's ridiculous.
You know, I mean, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, Chelsea might live to be 119.
I think she will, quite frankly.
Of course, you know, healthy diet.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Right.
You know, anyway, be careful out there. These folks right here are depending on you. I'm looking at you in the camera.
That's
Chelsea.
right.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, but so our bodies wear out, and that's just the natural progression.
Right.
Some people wear out faster than others. Sometimes what we do or what we've been exposed to definitely plays a role. And you know, and so when you talk about the average lifespan, you know, that factors in people that are killed in auto crashes and other things. So I mean, so it does skew it a little bit, but
right.
But I mean, you know, if you're living into your 70s, I mean, you're doing pretty darn good overall.
Yeah.
You know, so and there's just so many things that are out there that can cause problems. I mean, worrying about them just makes you sicker.
Right.
So, my advice
I am a
is,
chronic worrier.
oh, me too.
Yeah, I'm a chronic worrier.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure they put the poster and it said, Dave and Doc, worriers.
Yeah. Oh, I worry about everything.
And it's not good for you.
No.
It's just not. And so, and I don't really, I don't do well giving advice on that like I do. And I'll tell them, be like, here's the thing, keep a journal. Exercise. Try to find things that are fun that you do every day just for some time for yourself.
Meth.
But until your teeth fall out and you can't eat your food. Dave will come over and chew your food for you.
That's right. I'll be like a bird.
Gently feed it to you like baby bird. Right. So, but worry is worry.
Yeah.
And there's always worries. I mean, some people don't worry about anything. I don't know if that's a good spot to be in either because, you can't be completely oblivious. There's too many things that you kind of have to take care of.
Yeah, there's so many things to worry about. Are the Niners going to be good this year? Right. How's Florida State going to do?
Right.
These are major.
Are the Vols going to make it to the World Series? The volunteer firemen.
Did they
105.5, second fastest pitch in the history of baseball.
That's funny you bring that up because we were talking about that last night. I went to go see Doctor Strange last night. And my oldest and I were talking about that. I'm like, they weren't clocking pitches years and years and years ago.
Truth.
So, like Cy Young and
right,
some of the so we don't know.
Right.
But given what I know about athletes and or at least what I understand about athletes and how they're getting bigger, faster, and stronger, and whatever, that's pretty flippin' impressive.
Yeah, only Aroldis Chapman's thrown one faster.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Of course,
but here's the thing: his arm will be dead by the time he makes it to the league, and he'll have to have Tommy John surgery.
And plus, it doesn't matter how fast you throw it if they can still hit it.
Oh, and if they do hit it, it's going out because the reaction, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. The force coming back at you, and plus, it's a metal bat; it's not a wood bat.
Right.
Bing! That's probably more powerful than that. That was kind of a wussy, but it's okay. So if somebody makes contact with it, it's probably going out. It's crazy.
We're talking about health.
But we just kind of changed the.
Well, no, but that's okay because we're talking about health and everything, and this is. I want to ask your opinion on something. I feel like we've talked about this before. Maybe we haven't. I have a very strong opinion about this, but I want to get your opinion.
Okay, I'm ready.
We're talking about baseball.
Yes.
I specifically want to go back to when baseball was almost dead. They went on strike and it was almost dead. And Sammy Sosa,
the most recent
Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire saved it in one summer. They saved baseball. They just 100% did. And anybody that says otherwise is just a moron and probably a Raiders fan. But
how about that though? That's some badness with the Raiders. We'll leave that alone.
Yeah,
let's not go there.
The cesspool.
But you're totally right. That magical summer.
But it saved baseball, and then we find out later that Sammy Sosa was drinking steroid juice, and so was Mark McGwire. And anybody that saw Mark McGwire when he showed up with the A's, I think he started with the A's.
Yes.
And here's a guy that looks like me. And then, by the time
he's like 6'5".
By the time he got to the Cardinals,
his forearm his forearms were the size of your head,
and his head was this big.
Right, and you're going.
His arms look like tree trunks and everything. I'm going to say this,
but they did rescue baseball. They
100% did.
And then you had Barry coming in there after the fact, which if you truly look at Barry, Barry's hat size changed fairly dramatically over a number of years.
His head and body are in different zip codes.
Not to mention his body, but if you look at his head, you can totally tell. You're like, your head was not that big.
Here's the controversial statement that I will make.
Oh boy.
And I have this strong opinion. Baseball did this whole war on steroids.
They did.
Right?
They did.
It's like,
and then they stopped it.
And then they stopped it. And so here's what I think. Here's what I want to see. When I watched that summer, because I almost stopped watching baseball altogether. As a matter of fact, that strike kind of did it for me, and I've never been as big of a baseball fan as I was before.
Leading up to that.
Yeah, leading up to that.
I understand.
That summer, I was just, it was amazing because Sosa would hit 2, McGwire would hit 2, Sosa would hit 3, and McGwire would hit 1, and you watched it all summer. And McGwire,
it was captivating.
He broke Roger Maris's record and all that stuff. But here's the thing about steroids: not only do I not care if they do steroids, I would be perfectly fine if they were available during the game and I watched them taking them during the game. And here's why: because baseball is one of the most boring sports in the world. And listen, this is coming from a baseball fan. I have nothing against baseball. My kids have played baseball.
He's getting fired up.
But it's a boring sport because it just takes forever.
It takes a long time.
It's so much so that they even met about it to say, how do we?
They've got a pitch clock now in the minors, and it's
right.
actually it's saving several minutes per game.
It is,
which is pretty cool.
So I mean, the fact that somebody can hit a home run and the ball goes in the air and it doesn't come down for a week,
Right.
I'm okay with that.
But here's the thing: that doesn't help your eyesight to hit the ball.
100%. That's what got lost.
So my brother-in-law is pretty good baseball player. Actually, I guess I should say probably both of mine. Sorry, somebody just sent me something random. That's weird.
They're trying to sell you steroids.
No, Bud Light. I'm like, what is this? Anyway, doesn't matter. It's so bizarre. It's some random spam email. There you go. Don't worry, mother-in-law and father-in-law. No.
Steroids, yes. Bud Light,
Steroids,
no.
yes. No. I mean, I used to work out pretty heavy, and I mean, I took creatine in high school to try to get bigger, and it did work.
Yeah.
I've never taken steroids.
Yeah.
There was a point there before I went to medical school. I mean, I was pretty big, and I remember, and I was working at the rec center, working at Staples, and going to class, and I actually had two people actually ask me if I took steroids, and I was like, number one, I'm not that big. Okay,
Right.
I mean, I was fit. All right, so I'm like, no, I don't take anything. But
Yeah.
Here's the thing. So both my brother-in-law played baseball. Sean, my sister's husband, his point was, he was like, that did not help Mark McGwire see the ball any better to swing and hit it.
100%.
And if you let the bat do the work, the bat actually I mean, sometimes people overswing and you can totally see them do it. It's like, but no, let the bat do some of the work.
Yeah.
And so, here's the thing I don't like about it is it being the health repercussions of taking them are significant.
100%.
And so that's the part where I think, is it worth your life
Right.
to be that elite level of an athlete? And I mean, now, and I obviously I'm not that elite of an athlete. I didn't go through any of that stuff. So I've never been hurt in a professional sport and have to rehab back, work really hard to get back.
And people go crazy. I mean, that's the other part of that too.
Right,
and you see all these professional wrestlers that die in their 50s from heart attacks and stuff.
Right.
And that's why.
Oh, absolutely.
That's why.
And not just that, but I mean, obviously they're taking stimulants and other things too, to be as amped up and as strong and as prepared as you can possibly be. The theme for today is Mother's Day.
I have been watching Breaking Bad again, so I think that's why
it's just on your mind. It's just on your mind. But here's the thing. So health standpoint, I don't like it. Here's the thing. People have always been cheating in some one form or fashion.
Of course.
I mean,
of course, Tom Brady. Of course. Of course, Patriots.
Right? Multiple times.
But you're absolutely right.
Or, I mean, heck, Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees, Houston Astros.
I heard something.
I remember Phil Niekro. You remember Phil Niekro, the pitcher? You remember he got busted? He had a fingernail file in his pocket.
Right.
And he was putting it in the glove, and they caught him, and the ump goes out there, and he's all messed around, and he just nonchalantly, like he's throwing his hands out, like, what are you after me at? And, of course, on the slow motion replay on ESPN, you see the file go flying, and, of course, the ump sees it, and they throw him out. I'm like, that was back in the 80s.
Hey, here's the thing.
This is all. I mean, stuff has always been going down. Health aspect, they got to save these people from themselves. They've got, and so I'm not for it, but there are plenty of other ways people are cheating.
Oh yeah.
So should that exclude them from the Hall of Fame? I don't think so. And I'll tell you another reason why. How do you know some of those other guys weren't doing something, maybe not to the bulked up steroid level,
right,
way back in the day?
Oh yeah.
And that helped them to achieve whatever records and things that they got. Now the purists are going to say no.
But here's the thing about the purist, and I'm talking directly to you, purists.
Baseball Writers Association of America.
And I'm not. I'm not so much a baseball fan that I would consider myself a purist. In football, definitely 100%. But even in football, I can admit that it's an entertainment venue.
Sure,
that's what this is.
I get it.
We're not playing this because we just love the sport. If that was the case, people would just volunteer to play.
Right.
We wouldn't have to pay them $30 million.
Correct.
But because you come to the stadium and you watch this.
Right. It's a business.
It's a business.
It's a business.
So it's an entertainment venue. So why do we treat it like it's not? I mean, because in the end, that's what it is. That's what football is. I love football. There's not a human on earth that loves football more than me. And I would argue with you if you said you did. But
with data,
listen, I mean, I bought a share of stock from a team that I can't stand just because I'm a football fan. But and I love coaching, and that's at the purest level because it's kids,
right?
And that's at the purest level.
That's the funness.
Yeah, and we rarely ever give them steroids, maybe once a year. But I'm just kidding.
Only if they get hurt.
God, I have to say I'm kidding because somebody's going to listen to this.
Little HGH, it's okay. Yeah. Just in that's my favorite. Well, in doctor supervised dosages, this is okay. I'm like, it's like, well, if you had a true medical condition that required that,
right?
Yes, but Sylvester Stallone. No, sorry.
I mean, here was the argument that I heard back in the early 2000s when this really started ramping up.
That was
is there was a guy on a talk show, and I don't remember who it was, but he said something that I thought was the greatest of all. The greatest thing you can say about this. He goes, "So let me understand this." He's like, "Let's say you're 4'1", and you want to be taller, and someone comes out with a pill that's going to make you taller." There are some side effects like there is with every other medication on earth, but it's going to make you taller. What are you going to do? And I'm as someone who is a towering 5'6", I'm like, shit, are you kidding me? I'm going to liquefy that and drink 6 of them a day. Are you out of your mind?
What's a therapeutic dose? Can we go a little bit above the therapeutic dose? I'm kind of in a hurry here. Okay.
So I mean,
sure.
Because they made the comment that it's their profession. It's what they're doing, and they said and somebody even says it's no different than making a shortcut on your desktop to a file that you always access. You're trying to make it more efficient, and you're trying to be whatever. Now, the health ramifications, I think it's well documented.
That's why I can't support. I get where you're coming from. So it's not a ooh.
Me personally, I wouldn't take them because I'd rather not murder my family in the middle of the night.
Truth.
The Chris Benoit thing and wrestling and stuff. I mean, these people go crazy. Yeah.
It's a bad mix because you have those medications,
right?
And then they obviously have significant head trauma and other things. So I mean, just a lot of stuff that gets rewired in the wrong way, and it's a shame. But they, again, to be the ultimate athlete, they were willing to, in their minds, to pay the ultimate price and take I shouldn't say everybody, what a vast majority of folks are doing.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I guarantee you right now, there is something that's out there that somebody's figured out. And we don't know how to monitor it, and people are doing it right now. Because if you think about it, by the time the scientists catch up to what's ever going on, something else is already out there,
right?
And it's, it is what it is. But the health stuff, that's why I'm always like, this is they've got to continue. That's why I was shocked when baseball, we're not going to test for it anymore. What? You kept people out of the Hall of Fame over this, and you stopped. I'm like, fine, if you're going to do that,
right.
then let's throw out the performance enhancing stuff, and you need to let Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
we could have a whole episode on that, but it's just crazy. So it gets back to this fit our narrative back then.
Yeah.
Now, people aren't hitting the ball as hard because they've done something funky with the ball. I mean, run production's down this year. Batting average is down. Have you seen all that?
Oh, yeah.
And it's a long game. It's like, listen, we need some more runs. I didn't come here to watch, I love Volunteer Fireman 105.5, but I came to see somebody hit something. You know,
Right.
'Cause it's a long game. It is anyway.
I mean, it's funny to me because I mean, what is it? Judge not lest you be judged.
Yes.
So I mean, you're keeping people like Pete Rose, who's kept out of the Hall of Fame for something completely different and completely dumber than the steroid thing.
Truth.
I mean, it's one of the greatest baseball players of all time.
I mean, hands down.
I mean, top five,
Hands
top five all time.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, here's
and
a
he
guy.
bet on himself to win.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're going to get mad because he bet on himself to win.
Here's a guy that was so good that he decided in a game that he was going to just hit some foul balls so the crowd could get some, so they could catch some balls.
Yeah.
And
I
he did
remember-
it intentionally.
I remember reading that article, and I was like, you got to be kidding. But he really did do it.
That's different level.
But he really did do it.
I mean, that was like when Michael Jordan closed his eyes and shot the free throw. He's like, I mean, we need to win this game, but I'm gonna show you.
I can do.
This
anything.
is not.
I can do anything basically.
It's just, I mean, it's, here, I mean, the people that are, even like when, Sosa was testifying and, Mark McGuire was testifying and Jose Canseco and
Rafael Palmeiro, who then got busted after the fact. I'm like, McFly, you're a moron. I mean, why, dude? I mean, that just, anyway.
But it's just, it's like, I mean, I didn't see anybody that came to the stadium to watch them play asking for their money back for their tickets.
Right.
I didn't see the ratings drop. I didn't see Major League Baseball didn't do anything but make themselves look like a moron when they went after people for steroids. Because they're like, well, you're going against the purity of the game, and what you said is 100% correct. It's like, yeah, but let's just see. I mean, like, the UFC now, they have to. I mean, because they don't do testing themselves, I don't think. But I think because
they're part of WADA or whatever.
Yeah. So to be sanctioned and to fight in all these places,
you have to have some.
But they're doing these testings to the level that, I mean, they're picking up on things that are still in your body that you may have done 6 months ago, or something.
It was
and I don't know the science because, again, as I've said many times, I'm not very intelligent.
Well, and it's complicated. I mean, and I mean, like I said, the way that these researchers have figured out what to do. I mean, it's amazing how concentrated down to the the cellular level that they're able to do. And I don't know a ton about that because I'm just like, oh my goodness.
It's amazing though. I mean, it's something that you could have done months ago.
They sit there forever and ever and try to figure that out. I'm like, my goodness, y'all.
And it's just, it makes me think, like, you go back to, let's go back to the Romans and the Roman Colosseum. We build this big Colosseum. We've got lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my.
He went there.
And
I thought you were going to go to get medieval.
Oh, well, the same thing, though. I mean, like, it's the same thing. So, like, it's so
you think those knights were up on there? They were jousting on performance and
right. I mean, do you think they're peeing in a cup before they're doing that? Right?
Cocaine.
No, they didn't care.
No.
I mean, nobody cared. It's like they opened the gate, go fight that lion.
Right.
Well, just so you know, I'm jacked up on steroids. Well, good. Maybe that'll make a good meal for the lion. Nobody cares.
You'll be nice and muscular.
We've taken this entertainment venue, I think, and tried to shift it in a way that I just don't understand. And to me, listen, if Mark McGuire wants to keep taking steroids and he can come back and play again, okay. You want to hit 64 home runs? Okay.
Right.
I don't care. Again, the health side of it, I 100% agree with you because
we're I think we're on the same page. I think I'm probably a little more just because of what I do. It is a little bit more that I feel convicted over that to be like, well, please don't take that. And I've actually had some patients that actually one guy still does takes steroids and exercises.
Yeah.
And I mean, quite muscular, and we have to have that conversation when they come in. And I mean, it's it's concerning. And
does he ever pick up the bed and throw it and just like loses?
No.
Doc, I just can't.
No, fortunately not. I will say this: if it got to that point,
he wouldn't be a patient anymore.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no! And
have you ever had anybody that got violent?
No, I did have one guy when I had not been here very long.
Yeah,
and he did. And I tell this story, so my wife has heard this story before, so I'm sure she loves it. As all of my stories, she loves. I know, Laura. I know. But he came in, and when you first start, a lot of times folks will come see the new doc because they want to see what the new doc is about.
Right.
And that doesn't matter if you're black or white or Cuban or Asian, male, female, Baptist, Presbyterian, atheist, agnostic, whatever. They want to see what you'll do and what you're going to give them.
Right.
And so anyway, this guy came in and it ended up a couple of visits because in the beginning I wasn't crazy busy. So you could call like the same day and call back the next day and you probably could get an appointment because in the beginning, I was seeing probably, 10 to 12 a day maybe.
Right.
And, now I see, 20 to 24 a day.
Right.
And some days I might only have 8, but everybody's new. So, you take more time with them and that helps you build your practice.
Right.
And like I said, and so he kept complaining about stuff. And one day he came in and his hands were just beet red.
Yeah.
And he kept just kind of hinting around for pain medicine. And he had seen another physician who was giving him pain medicine. Mm-hmm. A guy out way away from where the guy actually lives. I'm like, this is interesting. You drive that far to that physician. These people have no sense. So I'm like, you really don't think that I can ask you some questions to figure? And he's sitting there complaining to me. I'm like, okay, well, we'll get some X-rays. We'll take a look at it. Blah. And it's always, I just need somebody to take care of the whole person of me, doc. They take care of all of me. I don't want to have to go somewhere else. And I just need something. And he didn't want to do the X-rays, and I was like, dude, I've got to X-ray your hands. And in his, and obviously whatever he had been doing, he was trying to make his hands look irritated because he thought that was going to help him get pain medicine. I'm like, it's not. Sorry. And so he wouldn't get the X-rays. And I said, well, we need to see what's going on. And it just kind of went back and forth. And he kind of started, this is when it kind of flipped. And so we're in the visit and he starts getting mad.
Yeah.
And I said, look, man, if we're trying to help you, we need to do some workup.
Right.
And he basically started cussing and he stood up. And you've been in the small room, one of my smaller rooms. That's the one that drives you crazy. We fixed the plug, but the one that you always want to fix the plug on.
It room drives me nuts.
Yeah, so room 5.
Yeah.
He stands up, and he was probably about 6 feet, and I'm right at 6'1". And he stands up over the top of me, and he's still cussing. And he clenches his fist.
Right.
And about that time, and that was when I used to have a little clipboard where I took notes and stuff, and I dropped it on the floor and stood up, and I just said to him, I said, I'm not sure what you think you're going to do, but this isn't going to happen. And I said, you need to leave right now. I said, this is going to be a problem. And I said, if you do not leave immediately, I'm calling the police right now. Yeah. Which in my mind, I was like, I'm not calling the police. You and I are about to have a disagreement. And I don't fight fair. I would have hit him with the chair. That's the thing. People have, we're going to have a fair fight. No, we're not. No, we're not. Everything at the disposal. And it was, anyway, it was, so he was kind of ready. And I opened the door, when this happened too.
Right.
Fortunately, there were other people. And so people started coming down the hall too. So at that point he knew, he's like, if I do anything, I'm going to jail. And he left.
What happens if you had punched him and cracked his orbital and then he needed pain medication? Then what?
I guess they would have had to have helped him at the hospital while he was in handcuffs.
I've never had a violent doctor visit ever in my life,
which is good.
I'm not a violent person, as you know,
and we're pretty fortunate. So
I did see a doctor in Virginia who actually had someone with him to write prescriptions, and the minute he walked in the door, he said, "Oh, you've got hay fever," before we said 3 words to each other. That wasn't a violent thing, but more along the lines of, I said, you should not be a doctor. Yeah, I do not disagree that you probably went to med school and you probably have, you probably put your time in, but somewhere along the line, you're trying to see 50 patients a day. And
he just saw that you had shiners, man. He just had that redness under your eyes.
That's right.
It happens all the time. That's how he knew. He was like, oh, he's got shiners.
He said, oh, you got hay fever. I said, hey, you shouldn't have practice.
Right.
Like, I'm not a doctor, but I'm just coming to see you for some other stuff. Like, I wasn't even there for that. And again, I mean, it's one thing if I come see you and it's just a regular visit and you're like, holy crap, Dave, did you know you had this growth on your neck? And I'm like, oh, I didn't notice that, Doc. Thanks for noticing that. But I mean, but we also know each other,
right?
So it's a little different. So
True.
yeah, so this guy, but I've never had a visit that got violent,
which is good. And you know, again, was he really going to do something?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
But he certainly, I guess he certainly thought that maybe.
Do you think he stood up and said, you know what, if I really turn into a jerk here, I'll get some pain meds? Then it's done at that point. Like,
No, I mean, just I don't know. But that's the only time. I mean, I had one lady get mad over a thing. She got dismissed for drug abuse, and she just showed up in the office.
Oh,
and was making a scene in the lobby. So I did put her in a room so we could talk.
right.
You know, I was trying to do the right thing, and she got pretty belligerent, and you know, she told me she was gonna, you know, get my license and all this other stuff.
Of course.
And I said, I'm really sorry. I said, but you know, this is not something that I did.
Right.
And I said,
Right.
we have documented proof that you're taking things that you did not get from me and you did not get from any other licensed physician, because these things, these are not even prescribed.
I'm so...
You know, and so, you know, so it was one of those things. It was like,
Yeah.
you know, this is not my fault. I'm sorry you're mad at me because now you're not going to get your pain medicine that you were obviously swapping for these other things.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm so happy that your staff knows me well enough now to just laugh the stuff off. But they're like, any new medications? Yeah, I mean, this meth habit's gotten pretty bad, just to be perfectly honest. They don't even look at me anymore. They just shake their head like, whatever.
Yeah, April has no fear. April's old school. She just shank you, man. See,
right?
See that if that guy showed up now, she'd already had him folded up in the trash can. And I'd be like, where'd the patient go? Well, he was a problem, so I just went ahead and took care of it. Thank you, April.
This is why we keep Chelsea
and April's
around.
my nurse, just for those of you who haven't heard.
This is why we keep Chelsea around, because I feel like if somebody did something to the family, I could just send Chelsea and she would
That's
take care of
probably
it.
legit.
Yeah.
She's got a little bit of that edge.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
True.
She's definitely tougher than I am. I mean, that bar's set pretty low, let's be honest.
You know, that could be a New Year's Eve event. You could arm wrestle Chelsea.
Oh, I think I'd lose.
For cash
100%.
money. Cash money.
Oh, yeah. I'd definitely lose. I think I might be able to outrun her because I'm pretty fast.
You are pretty fast.
But I don't think I could. Yeah, I think she'd beat me.
That would still be kind of fun.
I think she'd beat me just in wrestling. Like, I mean, I'd be like, she would like have some like chokehold or something on me.
She probably knows something.
Oh, you know she does.
Probably right. You know, I'm still convinced that somewhere Laura has learned some stuff and she just hasn't had to apply it yet. You know,
right.
It's one of those things. I'm like, you know, somewhere. Anyway, but steroids, craziness, all these things.
Yeah. I'll stop taking them.
Appreciate
just
that.
kidding.
Your heart will thank you.
Yeah.
So were your male organs.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Right.
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 There you go.
Actually, with the amount of kids I have, I probably need those to stop working. I need to read up on the internet how that happens.
Swift kick over and over help.
That does it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Rochambeau. That was the South Park. That's what it was called. That's Rochambeau for it. Oh gosh. If anyone wonders what I watched growing up, South Park.
There it is. And Howard Stern.
Hey, so you know what we didn't talk about, which happened a couple weeks ago, was Elon Musk and buying Twitter, which I think is awesome. I think it's
taken over the world.
I mean,
he's taken over the world.
Here's the question, though. Like, I mean, does this guy just have $40 billion? I mean, he already owns some of Twitter anyway, so I know it's not completely 40. But I mean, did he have liquid capital for that, or like, did it? I mean, like, you know, it's like starting like so.
I got nothing. I have no idea.
I was going to start a Dippin' Dots franchise one time. Do you know this story?
You're lying.
No. So when I had my own business, one of my locations was in a mall. And I reached out to Dippin' Dots and I said, holy crap, I love Dippin' Dots. And they're like, hey, cool, we love it too.
The ice cream of the future.
The ice cream of the future. And so they came and talked to me and like we had like a long conversation. They were great people. And at the end, and so they said you had to have, I think it was like $25,000 in liquid assets.
Oh.
Like basically you had to say, hey, here's a bank account that has at least 25 grand in it or whatever.
Oh.
But the stipulation that got me was the mall per year had to make $1 million per square foot, or they wouldn't show up.
What?
Yeah, they only go into malls that make a lot of money. And I said, well, the foot traffic's here. There's a movie theater, and
Didn't they used to be at the zoo?
right?
Does the zoo is nonprofit?
Right.
How is that working? It's nonprofit.
But-
Wink, wink.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's
No, I'm sorry. The zoo probably is not. But Dippin' Dots at the
once you get that 501c3, anything can happen.
Well, that's true.
It's net proceeds. That's how it works, right? That means
right.
after we pay ourselves hundreds of millions.
We're broke. It's
Not
a
that
joke.
the zoo does that, because I don't think they do, actually.
No.
I think that's
No, I-
about as legit as it gets.
Yes.
But yeah, so anyway, you had to have some liquid assets or anyway, and in the mall that I was in did not profit to that level.
How about that?
And so we didn't get to do Dippin' Dots, even though they actually come back and they try to do a couple things, but
Yeah.
we weren't able to work it out.
You couldn't get it.
But anyway, so I'm just wondering, if he buys all these shares of stock, I mean, he had to have money to do that. That's not an IOU. I mean, when you're buying stock, you're buying stock. I bought stock, and it's not like I can tell them, hey, if the stock does really good, I'll pay you next year. That's
Right.
not how that works.
No.
It's like, oh, you want this stock? Give me money.
Right.
And maybe there's an investment firm that he works with that fronts that kind of money. I don't know.
Well, when
because I'm
you're-
not at that level.
When you're right there as the richest person in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure those guys know, guys and gals, they know how to, they know money.
Yeah.
So there you go. So he, and it's going to work out in his favor. So
Yeah.
it's insane.
He's going to be the temporary CEO too. That was part of the deal, I think.
That's insane.
And people are going nuts about
That's insane.
it now because Elon Musk isn't going to ban people from Twitter. He's
No.
not gonna, he's just going to say, it's a social media platform. Say what you
Right,
want. He's
right.
not going to make it political,
Nope.
left or right. He's just going to open it
Nope.
up, and people
Everybody-
are going nuts about it.
Everybody just have at it.
Yeah, and I thought that was interesting. And the people that are upset about it, and I'm like, why are you upset about this? What? I mean,
Because it doesn't fit their narrative, Dave.
yeah,
That's the problem.
it's like
It's amazing.
I thought this was
It's
a great thing. I'm
it's
like, oh,
amazing.
cool. So this is just open for everybody, and
Right.
right.
Which is what it was originally intended for.
Which I also don't take Twitter seriously either. If I were to, God, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. If I were to tweet something out, tweet, I don't really give a damn what you think about it. I mean, I just don't. I mean, I don't care.
You don't need so many likes or dislikes.
I don't need anything. I just don't. I mean, if Twitter was paying me or something because I had so many followers or something, I mean, then,
Well, and I think
then
some
maybe,
people,
but
I think some people, same thing. Hey, so we got to be careful with that because YouTube subscribe.
Oh, I know.
To the
I
Dave
mean,
and Doc podcast.
that's why I'd rather be transparent about that.
podcast.
It's like if YouTube was to send us a check and the only thing stopping them from sending us a check is people subscribing, I'm going to tell you to subscribe.
I think we're only probably about 945 listeners away. Subscriptions.
Yes, I think that's exactly. I think you're right. I think you're close. But the views are so people are watching it. It's just that they're not subscribing. But he buys he buys Twitter, and of course the first thing was that he was going to invite Donald Trump back, and Trump was like, "Yeah, I'm not coming back. I've got my own thing now."
Yeah, he's like, I don't need it.
I don't
need. But that was cool. I mean, at least he was like, hey,
oh yeah,
we're gonna make this fair.
Yeah.
Again, people don't like it. It doesn't fit their narrative. It's all good until it doesn't fit your narrative, and then you're gonna
Right.
whine and complain and go on and on.
They're all
Free,
probably-
free speech over here if you believe blue. None of that over here if you believe red.
Yeah, they're all probably Patriots fans anyway.
Possibly.
Misguided folks.
There's
people.
discussion about more masking indoors for Northeast counties. That was a little thing I
no.
saw. So I don't know. So
Oh,
that's
no.
I heard that today. I didn't really read much about it. but
Didn't we just figure out that masks really don't do anything?
They don't help a lot.
I mean, haven't we just figured that out?
They don't help a lot.
Not to mention the fact, I still
Unfortunately.
don't know what to do if I'm wearing a mask and I have to sneeze. I still don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
It's time to just taste some of that juice with my nasal juice Woo! Just, get drippy. You can be the drip.
There you go. I could be the drip.
You can be the drip. That's it. You already were the drip. Remember the other episode? You were the drip before the drip was.
I was the drip before the drip.
So this is the different kind of drip. It's the nasal drip.
Oh, hey, I did want to talk about really briefly about
because of the nasal drip.
Yeah, that did it about Doctor Strange last night. I'm not going to give anything away in the movie or anything, but here's what I'm going to tell you. If you go to the movie, please know that the first 20 minutes of the movie, you're going to want to get up and leave because it is boring as crap. And then the last hour and 40 minutes is awesome. So just know that going.
Little slow developing.
It really is like uncharacteristic for a Marvel movie.
That's not good.
Uncharacteristic for a Marvel movie.
Of course, I feel like his storyline is a little more complicated anyway.
It definitely.
And so maybe that's part of it too.
It is, yeah.
But
I mean, there was actually parts of the movie where people were like clapping in the middle of the movie. And I thought that was pretty awesome.
That's pretty cool.
So
I've been to a few movies like that where people, but not that's good. So that shows you it ended up working out.
Yeah. What I don't understand is we always sit in the same seats, right? I mean, you know this. I'm a creature of habit, and so like when we get there, like the kids like go to the seats because they know where we're at, right? And so at the RPX at Regal, beautiful place to go see a movie. Nice leather reclining seats and everything. And I've never found a syringe in the seat.
Right.
Just urban legend.
No needle poke.
No needle poke. So, but like there's two ways to get to each row, right? You can go around the side and go through a row, or you can go so there's two ways to get to a row. So what I don't understand are the idiots that they always go to one side or the other when they're sitting on the complete opposite side and crawl in front of everybody. It's like, you realize you could have just walked over there. It's
Steve Harvey has a it's not to that degree, but it's a skit. He's talking about church, and he's talking about if you have a weak bladder, do not sit in the middle of the pew. He said, and you wide, you getting up, knocking people backwards, you knocking ladies' lipstick off. So it's kind of saying, it's like if there's a different route to get there with causing less distress, go the other route.
I will say that it was the largest selfie I ever saw last night at the theater. So we left. The movie was at 9:15 and we left at 7:30. Number one, because I drive like a grandma, and number two, I felt like there was going to be a lot of traffic. It was opening weekend for Doctor Strange, and I thought it's Knoxville. I just felt like there's going to be a lot of traffic, so we left at 7:30. So we get there like 8:05, and I'm like, oh crap. So so then I'm like, okay, it's going to take some time to go through the concessions and everything. And sure enough, they had like every line had like somebody working. So it was really.
How did you get out the door on time? Did Lindsay go?
How did I get out?
Did Lindsay go?
No, she didn't go.
Oh, okay.
No, it's just me and the two older boys.
I got you.
Yeah.
It was the dude time.
Lindsay doesn't watch the Marvel movies.
No. But dude.
Yeah.
I'm never on time anymore. It drives me insane.
Well, so
we're not going there. It's Mother's Day.
I will not walk into a movie if the trailers are already playing. Like, I'm done. Like, nope, I'm not going in. Okay. I will wait. I will sit here and wait.
That's a good rule. I have had to do that before.
Yeah, I won't do it.
It stinks. So anyway, so
we had to wait, right? So we got like concessions. We sat in one of the chairs and we're just talking or whatever. And there was this group of people, and I mean, there had to be 30 or 40 people, and like they were doing this selfie, and I was going to offer to take the picture for them. I'm like, hey, guys, let's
how
take
did
this.
They do that?
They did it though. I mean, they had like people grouped in, and I mean, like people are stretched in. It was amazing, but they had all went to go see Doctor Strange. They came out of the theater from seeing it before we did. But yeah, largest selfie I've ever seen.
Holy cow!
It's pretty cool.
Welcome to your technology working for you,
right? Yeah, I mean, I was like, that's pretty cool. I struggle to get one with the boys and me,
right? And not cut off somebody's body part, right?
Yeah,
your head or whatever.
Yeah, or something more important,
right?
Right. But yeah, anyway, good movie. Just wanted to
sweet, good plug for Doctor Strange.
Yeah, so
go to the theaters.
If Marvel wants to be a sponsor, our logo's already red. So I mean,
if you go to and sit with the RPX, just remember there's a certain row that is reserved. Certain seats.
That's right.
Don't take them because you never know when Dave Mann may appear.
That's right. And there may or may not be a
That's it.
Dave and Doc
Who
sticker in
knows
there.
what evil lurks in the hearts of men?
There might be
Dave
a
Man knows.
Dave and Doc sticker there somewhere.
Sweet.
Just
Just a
perhaps,
subtle,
if you
just a
see that.
subtle thing.
Just a little subtle thing.
Little plug. It's good. So okay. So I was going to say,
Yeah.
because I know we're running a little bit on time. I think it's time.
You think it's time?
We got to throw everything else out the window. Nothing else. Nothing else. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, there is no this or that. There's no tit for tat. There's no quid pro quo, Mario Cuomo, none of this.
Hello, Clarice.
Right? Listen, I want to know about this Walmart shank.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got stabbed.
We got to talk about this. I want to talk about it right now.
So I got stabbed.
Throw everything else out the window.
I got stabbed at Walmart.
It's good to see you, man, because was that here?
Yes. Yeah, I was here.
Hey, that's a vicious Walmart. You got to watch out.
It is, and
It's like no holds barred.
it is. It's no holds barred at the Walmart.
I know some people in loss prevention, and it gets pretty Wile E. Coyote over there, man.
That
sometimes.
website, the People of Walmart, is the greatest website. I'm telling you, if you never go to our website ever, at least go to the People of Walmart, because that is, my goodness gracious.
They deal with some stuff though.
Walmart's
man.
become a social event.
man.
Yeah, I mean, it's become a social event.
It's bad. People, people are just crazy bold. Anyway.
So
So you got shanked.
So you're
alive.
We were
No
this was-
residual
this was
damage.
about 9 years ago, I guess. And so we went to Walmart. I want to say we were looking for pillows.
Of course you were.
Of course we were. And Steven,
Soft, medium, or hard?
yes, and
I need all three because you got to try them out.
there's just not a good pillow out there. By the way,
No,
there's just not.
I agree.
They don't make a good pillow.
I agree.
There's just not one out there.
Yeah.
Not even the dude that half the world hates or whatever, the My Pillow guy, who's probably going to be back on Twitter now.
Right. He's going to get back.
Right.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt. No doubt.
If you're a Democrat, don't buy pillows from this guy. It's like, really? He sells pillows. Really? Choose your battles, folks.
So you were looking for pillows
So we were looking for pillows
on aisle 9
yeah,
in the house whatever section.
yeah, and so we were
Home goods.
yeah. So I want Stephen was with us. It was Lindsay, Stephen, and me. I don't think Landon was with us. He was here on Earth, but I don't think he was. He had been hatched at that point, but I do not believe he was accompanying us at that point in time. And so we're looking for pillows and probably just some general shopping, right?
That's what happens. You get at Walmart.
Yeah, and
Strategically designed.
Yeah, it's
keep you in the store.
my line that I say when I always when I actually go to Walmart, which is very rare, and they say, "Did you find everything okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I even found things I didn't want that I didn't need."
That's on purpose. That is on purpose.
And I love it because like it always throws people for a loop. I do that at Lowe's too, which I like to call slows. By the way, it's not Lowe's, it's slows.
There's probably a story in there.
Oh, there's plenty of stories there. So we're looking for pillows, and we're in this little. I can't describe it as much as it's like a half aisle. It's like a half. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like so there's aisles, and then there's like a thing in the middle, like just kind of a stand. Like here's some pillows, but it wasn't like the full length of.
I got you.
Aisle,
I got you.
Right?
I got you.
It's
Yes.
like a half aisle.
Yes, I got you.
And so we're looking at pillows, and Lizzie's like, "Would you like this one? Do you like this one? Do you like this one?" And
you're like,
I turn the corner, and all of a sudden, oh, that felt funny, and I look down, and sure enough, there is a piece of plastic that's like sticking out of one of the aisles and stabbed into my skin. And I'm bleeding, and like I still have a scar, and so and of course, me being me, I'm like, I just got stabbed at Walmart.
Did you say it very loudly?
I did not.
I wish you had.
But I did start thinking, I'm like, I don't know who else has been over here looking for pillows, and I've seen some of the clientele here. I guarantee I have syphilis now. Now I have syphilis. Hepatitis, syphilis,
That was the hepatitis.
gonorrhea, whatever else. What some other bloodborne pathogen.
HIV.
Yeah, HIV. I got the HIV. I had a buddy that called it HIV. He didn't understand it was HIV. Like he actually called it HIV.
Yes. It's like, no, you did. Yes, it's not.
We never told him any different because we just thought it was great.
That's just
He's
terrible.
still going through life calling it HIV.
Calling it the HIV.
Yeah, he's got the HIV.
Man. Oh.
Did you hear Magic Johnson has HIV? Like, yeah, I did.
What? It's like, what? No. Oh. So
I stepped. So
where did it stab you?
So it's right. I'll show you my scar. It's right above the ankle, and I still have the scar there, and it stabbed me pretty good.
Do your socks cover it?
No, I don't think so. I think it's right below.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Assuming they go on correctly.
Right.
God's sakes.
Right.
Then
is she still balling them up?
No. She stopped. You talked her out of it. Thank you for that. I appreciate that, and it's worked out a lot better.
No job too great or too small. We can take care of them all.
That's right.
You know,
you knew that medical degree would come in handy sometimes.
That's why I keep me around. That's right. I keep you around for moments like this. That's it. That's good. That's good. I'm having all kinds of trouble with this mic.
So like I look down and it's like, I mean, I'm bleeding.
You're shanked.
Yeah, I'm shanked. I got shanked at Walmart. I got the shiv right at Walmart.
The shankiv.
And so like I was telling Lindsay, and Lindsay's got a story where she fell in a Walmart years and years and years before we ever got together when she was in college. And like Walmart actually gave her some money for it.
What?
Yeah. So she like fell, like it was the floor was wet and there wasn't a floor sign, and like she like fell.
I bet they did give her some money
and cracked her skull or something. Actually, I don't think it was that bad of a fall, but she fell and she told them and like gave her some money. So as we're talking about, as we're walking around, and
they bought her off.
I mean, I'm bleeding, right? Lindsay goes, "You should probably go tell somebody about this, right?" So I go up front into because there's only one spot, right? Like if you go and you're either returning merchandise, complaining, or you've been stabbed. It's one of the that's what it's like. We'll handle all these complaints. So if you've been shanked or shivved, go to the left. So I go up front, and she goes, in typical. I don't give a damn. Typical Walmart employee, right? It's just, can I help you? Like, you don't want to help me. You don't want to be there. And I understand why, because it's a crappy job and they don't pay well. I understand, but it's not my fault.
Always low prices, always, though.
Yeah. I had a buddy that used to say, "Who's this less guy they sell for?"
Oh, my God.
This is, we sell for less. He's like, Les must make a lot of money.
He's not the one that said HIV too, was he?
No, different guy. This is the guy I did radio with.
This is telling me these subtle things when I'm learning a lot today, ladies and gentlemen. Learning a lot.
So I go up front. So I go there, and she's like, "Can I help you?"
She was on steroids, obviously.
She probably was. Her head did look very large. So I said, "Hey, just so you know, I'll whatever."
A half aisle.
I got stabbed looking at, and I was showing her and I was bleeding, and she goes, "Do you think you're going to be okay?" I'm like,
too early to tell.
I'm like,
did it lacerate an artery?
It's like, well, I mean, the blood seems to be clotting, so that part is working fine. So apparently the clotting mechanism my body naturally has is working, but I do not have a syphilis test or a HIV test or anything else with me. So I said, well, I mean, I think I'm going to be okay, but I'm just telling you that you're...
What am I supposed to do?
That you're effing aisle over there just stabbed me.
Yes.
So, and so she's like, well, I can take down your name and number. I'm like, boy, I love this service here, right? It's like...
How about you go take the shank away from the half aisle?
It's like, I could just imagine walking up there and you say something like, I got a little tightness in my chest. Kind of feels like there's an elephant on it. My left arm's going a little numb, and I'm starting to see spots. Do you think you're going to be okay?
We'll take your name and number.
We'll give you a call at the morgue. So she's like, I'll take your name and I'll have somebody call you. And I'm like, okay. I said, but also, could you send somebody over there with like a file or something and file that down?
Let's get the shank removed. Yes, the weapon needs to be removed.
Because, I mean, honestly, Stephen was little then too. So, I mean, I can just see a little kid walking over there and it's not going to be at their ankle. It's going to be at their thigh, or they're going to be bending down. It's going to, so,
right.
Somebody's going to get hurt. So anyway, a day or two goes by, and Walmart called me officially.
Oh,
And here's this manager who, good God, I'm just going to call him Roy because I don't know what name.
Roy G. Biv.
Yep.
His name was Roy G. Biv.
He said, so he's like, he leaves me a voicemail because I was at work when he called. And I generally don't answer the phone at work because I've got other stuff going on. Or I just don't see that anybody called. Like if you're calling for, medical results that you're giving me 9 times a day.
We're thorough. We
Right.
want to get back with you.
Yeah, it's like, just leave a voicemail. I filled out a piece of paper that said you could do that. But anyway, I digress. We've had this conversation. So the guy, like Roy, right? He's like, "Hi, Dave, this is Roy from Walmart. I understand you experienced some discomfort at our store. If you could give me a call back, I'd appreciate it." Now, discomfort. I got
Discomfort.
I got shivved. I got shanked.
You got the shank.
I got shivvy shanked right there in the
In the
in
leg.
the pillow aisle, right?
Blood. You bleed your own blood.
Nobody
makes me bleed my own blood, right? I mean, so.
And I was also at the time. I didn't tell you this, but I was also 6'2" at the time. So it's shrunk me.
Oh, instead of Honey, I Shrunk the Kid, the shank shrunk Dave man.
It knocked 6 inches off, but my head got larger. So I don't know what was on that piece of plastic. And so I call. So I get on the phone and I call Roy back. Hey Roy, this is Dave, and as a matter of fact, I did experience some discomfort as I lost 7 pints of blood, and I was stabbed in your location. And he said, "Are you doing all right?"
He said, "Wait, they already." No, at first it went from, "You think you're going to be okay?" Well, are you doing all right?
Right. And it's like,
Well, today, yes.
Roy,
My toes are black from the lack of blood flow. But other than that, and it's starting to smell kind of funny.
Right.
Have you ever seen Mr. Deeds? Right?
It's like, my foot was turning black and it felt funny, and then I just don't feel it anymore. So I guess it's okay. I said, "Well, Roy, I mean, it stopped bleeding, but I mean, let's talk about the fact that I was also,
shanked.
There was a laceration that occurred in your humble location there." And he said, he actually asked me, he said, "Do you need money or something?" That's what he said to me.
You're kidding.
No, that's what he said to me. Asked me if I need money or something. And I said, at that point, I'm like,
Oh, take the money and run.
Yeah, I mean, there was a part of me that wanted to say, it's been really hard to. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've not been the same, and I just can't love anymore.
I did call OEB law though.
They turned your shiv into a check.
We've got you turn your shank into a check. That doesn't rhyme, but
They've toned down some of their commercials.
They
I have
have.
seen. They're not driving in that Jeep Wrangler up the side of a mountain for a girl walking out in a
yes.
As they show up with a check.
Yes.
It's like, just mail it to her.
We come to you no matter where you are.
It's like just mail me the check.
Yeah, they have kind of changed there.
It's like, I don't want to. I'm saying that, but if I was an attorney, that's totally what my commercials would be. Hi, I'm Dave, and I'm here for you. Have you ever seen the show Better Call Saul? That's me. Yeah. So the guy was like, "Do you need?" So at that point, I was like, "You know what? We're just done." I'm like, "You know what, man? Listen, Roy Mercer,
How big a boy are you?
R.D. Mercer, how big a boy are you?" I said, "It's fine. It's perfectly fine. Like, I'm just saying, whatever. Like, I'm done with this."
I didn't need money. I'm trying to get the safety profile improved in your establishment.
I did tell him, I'm like, I don't want anybody else to get hurt.
Right.
And
You got shanked at Walmart.
yeah, and he's like, "Yeah, we're taking care of it." I'm like, "How long does it take to take care of it? I could have went over there with a pair of needle nose pliers and fixed
pulled
that."
it out. That'd have been it.
But
They needed to send a tech. And then they're going to have to go and analyze it and come back and talk to you.
they sent a tech here to look at our table. By the way.
Oh, no, that's why I said that.
Yeah, the wholesale folks that sell furniture here in the Knoxville area sent a technician. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Table's looking good. I did have to fix the middle brace there. Just like I said, just quick flick of the wrist, and it's all good.
Do you remember when, like, you're super poor and every piece of furniture you had to put together, and it was that flimsy?
Oh, we just had blow up plastic.
Yeah, what?
No, I'm teasing. Yes, no.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Oh, yeah.
No, I had a, like one of those single computer desk things. I mean, kind of about the width. People can't see this, but where your server stuff's at.
Yeah.
Just one of those single things. And when I went to move it, when I was moving out, the thing just fell apart.
Yeah.
And I was like,
it starts to lean, and then
that's the end.
Like,
that's not the. Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
Well, that's how I feel. I feel like we bought a piece of that kind of furniture. But the difference is, instead of paying $100, it was significantly more than that.
Right.
So
right. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
$69 desk. I'm okay with that. It
right.
Apart,
it's like
it's like a new, stiff breeze.
Yeah. I mean, this desk that I'm using currently is from IKEA, and it's actually good. IKEA. It's actually made it to 2 homes because we had it in the house before we bought this one.
See, there you go. High quality.
Yeah,
that's some high quality
H2O,
some
high quality H2O,
some wood. It's real wood.
So that was me getting shanked at Walmart, and they're excellent customer service. See, excellent.
I thought that was going a different route.
Yeah,
I really thought you were going to tell me like somebody was trying to rob Walmart and someone with loss prevention got involved, and you were just an innocent bystander in the crossfire. And got a little cut.
Are you kidding? I would have hid under one of the aisles. Are you kidding me?
Did you pass out from the bleeding?
I did not. No,
that's pretty impressive.
I
know you don't like stuff like that. Well, now, had it been impaled, like
I'd have been out. Yeah,
like stuck in you.
What's the funniest part?
A little piece
is
there wasn't a little piece.
Just
no wedding crashers. Oh, no wedding crashers. No, can't do that.
What's funny is, like, when we left, like, I mean, it's much like when I come see you. Like I say, I leave the Band-Aid on, like, all day.
Yes,
like all
just
day.
To be safe.
Just to be safe.
I got you.
And I'm like, they took a pint of blood.
You don't want it to gush.
Yeah. So, like, when we got in the car, I'm like, I'm lucky I'm alive because I just lost a ton of blood in there. And at this point, Lindsay was like, "You're going to lose a ton of blood when I stab you myself. Like, shut up." And of course, Steven's thinking it's hilarious. Like, "Dad's hilarious." And I'm like, "Listen, it's like, what do we want to get for dinner tonight? I don't know if I can eat. I mean, I just got stabbed. I
have a mortal wound here.
It's a little PTSD.
I mean,
that I'm going through,
yeah. I mean, it's that's hilarious. You think you're going to be okay?
Think you're going to be? Sure. I think
said nope. Dying right now.
It's like, I'm not a medical professional.
Having an active heart attack from this terrible event.
It's like asking somebody that's bleeding out,
losing sensation in my foot. Here it goes. Oh,
you're bleeding out from a major artery, and somebody stands over you and says, "You think you're going to be okay?" Well, here's what I know. I don't know how fast my body produces new blood cells, like red blood cells.
Not fast enough for that.
But I know that, like, it is a container. So, like, there's not new ones coming in. So I realize at this point, I feel like I'm losing more than I'm producing. So, judging on the fact that I feel like I need to have blood, I would say there's a potential for me dying here.
Yes, the mortality is real. Feel it. Feel the mortality. See it. Oh man.
That was
only to you. The Walmart shank.
I know. It's just, I mean, if I'm involved with it, no matter what it is. And I had a buddy, one of the guys who was with me when I was getting the sub sandwich at that piece of crap place that I was getting the sub sandwich at. He was with me that day. And so he's a little behind on our podcast. So he had just got to that. And in the description, it talks about getting a sub sandwich. So he does a screenshot and circles that part of it and sends it to me, like, with a big LOL. And I'm like, "Oh, well, you knew I had to talk about it." He was, I mean, if you'd lived through if you'd been there, it was very comical, particularly at the end when I'm eating the sandwich and they go number 21.
Maybe Walmart should start doing. They should start making it like for things that happen, give you that number, and then they can just call it in. You
Maybe
scan the QR code. Can I help you? What's your QR code? Did you scan it?
It's like, why do they have to be so mad at Walmart?
I think because they just deal with some.
Oh, they do. I mean, I get that.
Scummaluphagus, as I like to call it.
We are, as you know, we are a very peaceful family. We're a very law-abiding, peaceful family outside of the meth and prostitution.
Right.
But I mean,
Paxton is the ringleader.
Oh yeah. We're all scared of him. We're all scared of that kid.
Yeah. Lock your door at night.
His new thing is to sit in the chair that you're sitting in now.
Oh.
And that's usually where my bag goes. When you're coming over, as you notice to your left, that's where I put my bag. It's a nice leather, nice backpack, and
he throws it in the floor, doesn't he?
He does. He just pushes it in the floor, and I'm like, I tell Lindsay, I'm like, I got like $4,000 worth of equipment in there. Like it's not like it's just a bag with a notebook.
He don't care.
He doesn't care at all.
No, it's like that day when he was mad, because I picked up the remote he was eating. And he came around that corner and he was like Kong mad. I was like, well, there you go. I mean, I didn't move, fortunately, because if he'd moved me, I would have said we're going to get him into some sort of Hercules competition. But he definitely,
he's got the strongest legs of any kid that age I've ever seen. Like it's ridiculous.
Well, they're huge.
Yeah, they are. They just got
they're huge.
Massive legs.
Huge. That's it. Well. Big gulps, eh? Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to everybody.
You all.
Right?
Happy Mother's Day to you all. Happy Mother's Day to you all. Happy Mother's Day to y'all.
Is that public domain? Is that song? Did you just make that up?
I just made that up.
Okay. Because the Happy Birthday song is not public domain.
Oh!
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Somebody else owns it.
I don't know what happened.
The Happy Mother's Day song doesn't exist.
Just call me Vanilla Ice. Mine sounds different. It's dun, 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 dun.
That's right.
Just a slight different pitch. That's it.
It's not Queen Under Pressure at all. That's not what it is.
No. That's it. Anyway, hey, we'll do better next time. Show number 20 next week.
Yeah, number 20. I didn't get into my Peyton Manning question that I wanted to ask you.
We're gonna get it next week.
I have a very serious question about Peyton Manning.
I'm ready.
Whom I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of.
And we know I am.
Yeah. Hey,
thank y'all.
So you can listen to us or see us in lots of places. You can hear us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Pandora, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, Pocket Cast, Overcast, and some other cast. And also on YouTube, you can actually view us there. And all you have to do is search for Dave and Doc. And
podcast.
And if you don't want to do any of that, then you can just go to the website, DaveandDoc.com, DaveAndDoc.com.
Thank y'all. Thank you, Europe.
Thanks to Europe. We appreciate it.
Have a good day. See you. Bye.
See you, folks.